It's exciting to bring on Bret Taylor, President and Chief Operating Officer at Salesforce, to discuss how we're making work as safe and productive as possible. So to get started, what have you guys learned from this crazy time we've been through?
Yeah, it's been really crazy. It's interesting because I was just having a conversation with a colleague at Salesforce, and we were talking about the fact is if a year ago someone said, you have a year to prepare, but next year your entire company has to work in a distributed way for the whole year, it would have felt like the biggest project of the year, and we would have been preparing for it. And instead we were given, like a week's notice.
With technology taking over the world generally and impacting so many industries and so much of society, we talk about every company having to become a technology company to survive and to thrive, and then really like digital transformation to get there. What have you seen across your customer base as it's gone from being this kind of idea to being this really digital imperative that customers have to do?
One of my favorite quotes was the chief digital officer of L'Oreal, who said, in e-commerce, we achieved in 8 weeks what otherwise would have taken us 3 years to do. And it's exactly what I'm hearing across our customer base, right? So marketing, just like this, is not in a convention center, it's a virtual event. I think across every industry, we've digitally transformed, and I think the kind of the most interesting part about that from my perspective is I think a lot of these habits will remain. I was the type of guy who used to love to go to the grocery store and pick up the vegetable and feel it and buy it. And now I'm shopping online. I'd never done that before. And I know that, as much as I'm looking forward to going back and visiting my local shop, I'm going to retain some of those habits, right? This transformation isn't going to necessarily go backwards.
Yeah. So if you think about remote work and the changes there, and then digital transformation and every company having to connect with customers digitally, Salesforce has introduced work.com. And I think part of that is to help us get back to this new normal. Why don't you talk about that and then how it fits into this balancing new normal with the inevitable changes we've gone through?
Yeah, well, before this pandemic hit, I'd never heard of contact tracing before. Now we're
social distancing or anything.
Yeah, social distancing. I mean, these were something that Larry Brilliant probably knew all about it, and I didn't know anything about. But now we're doing it in about 35 states, and actually, it all comes from our customers. So early on in this pandemic, Mark Benioff got a call from Governor Gina Raimondo of Rhode Island, and she asked for help with their contact tracing. I think she sort of saw, a similarity between, tracking people who may have come into contact with people who had COVID, and saw some similarities to customer relationship management on our platform. And hey, this is a problem that every single community is going to have, and every single company is going to have, because this pandemic isn't going to get solved overnight. It's not like we all get vaccinated and everything's okay. It's all about reopening gradually and safely. It's everything from contact tracing to a command center that you can use to track the health of your employees and contractors. It's employee wellness checks. You can make sure if someone has symptoms, they don't show up in the office. It's crazy stuff like I call it the Disney fast pass of the elevators, right? You need to make sure that you're scheduling time so you don't end up on a crowded elevator. These are things I don't think any of us thought we'd ever encounter in our lifetimes, and I think now they're a requirement to reopen.
Yeah, it's impressive work, and it's very exciting. And today we couldn't be more excited to announce a partnership with Salesforce and work.com specifically around combining what Okta does with identity and security and integrating to other systems in the environment with work.com to help us both jointly get it deployed to as many customers as possible and impacting as many users as possible, and hopefully helping get as many people back to work as safely and productively as possible, as fast as possible.
Well, I totally agree with you, Todd, and I'm so grateful for the partnership. I think of Okta, right? It's the connective tissue for our company, right? It connects all of our applications. And what does it mean to open safely? It's not one application, right? It's your HR system like Workday. It's your facilities management system. And, to be able to integrate with Okta and really have this platform connect to every system that you need to reopen safely is absolutely vital. And, it's what our customers are asking for, which is we need all of these applications to work together to produce the outcome we need to reopen safely. So really grateful for the partnership.
Yeah, the feeling's mutual. Salesforce is an amazing company. You guys are the leaders in the cloud, and more broadly than that, just this evolution of technology into the future. Not to mention the responsiveness to this pandemic that you guys have demonstrated, and we're really excited to be working with you, and look forward to working closely for many, many years ahead.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Bret. Thanks for joining us.